Bad fate and wrong love, the whole story of the murder of a female doctor. One early morning in 2016, the sun rose as usual. A dog walker was doing his daily morning exercises by the river. A bulging suitcase caught his attention, and he soon discovered the luggage. There were various suspicious signs in the box and the police were called. After the police opened the suitcase, everyone present was frightened by what they saw. A deceased woman, whose bones were smashed and broken, her whole body seemed to have been crumpled into a paper ball, was squeezed into the small suitcase. All of this originated from a bad fate, a wrong love that crossed race and religion, and two mutually exclusive souls. 1. Love at first sight. Everyone said that the birth of Alana Frick was a miracle. Her mother suffered 2 miscarriages, and the doctor told her that you may never be able to have children. However, the arrival of Alana brought great hope to the family, and her parents held her in their hands since she was a child. As a precocious girl, Alana had excellent academic performance. When she graduated from college, she was engaged to her childhood sweetheart, Matthew. Alana's mother was also very satisfied with Matthew. The two have been together for 10 years and have experienced so much. They even survived a serious car accident together. Just when everyone thought nothing could separate them, Alana chose to come to Ottawa in 1999. While studying for a master's degree in medicine at university, the conflicts between the two began to increase. In the end, the long-distance love race failed to overcome the distance barrier. It was from then on that Alana's life trajectory began to develop in another direction. One night in 2003, Alana was playing billiards in the recreation room of the Ottawa hospital. A neurologist named Mohammed suddenly appeared in front of her. She was instantly attracted by his temperament and quickly asked the nurse who this boy was. The nurse told her that the boy was the son of a famous thoracic surgeon at the Ottawa hospital and graduated from Yale University. Mohammed's shy and melancholy appearance instantly captured his heart. When he asked her to go to the bar, she agreed without even thinking about it. In the bar, Mohammed asked Alana if she could go on a date with his friend. It turned out that Mohammed just wanted to bring Alana and his friends together. Alana was surprised, but she had completely lost her resistance and couldn't wait to express her love to him. During the relationship, Alana fell completely in love. She was deeply attracted by his talent and ambition, and her love was naked and crazy. The relationship was not as equal as she had hoped. During the relationship, Mohammed had been flirting with another girl in medical school. No matter how hard Alana tried to win his love and how many gifts she gave, it was all in vain. 2. An unblessed wedding. When Alana took Mohammed back to her hometown in Windsor for Thanksgiving in 2004, her parents discovered Mohammed's strange side. He was almost an antisocial personality. He never talked to others and could not sit with others. Her parents even advised Alana not to be with such a thin and antisocial person. The first battle between the two happened a few months later. Alana found out that she was pregnant. This was exciting news, but Mohammed suddenly started to go crazy. His family is Muslim, and giving birth out of wedlock is a felony, and having sex with foreigners is a serious crime. It is also not acceptable for women to get married. In the end, they decided to rush to the wedding and have a wedding. This also made the difference between the two families obvious. Alana's family is almost all blue-collar workers, but most of Mohammed's family are outstanding talents in the medical field. According to Islamic customs, Alana had large tattoos of Muslim patterns on her hands, which made her Christian parents very uncomfortable. 3. The entanglement of love and hate. A few months later, his eldest daughter was born, but Mohammed often ignored his wife and daughter and was busy with his career. The conflict between the two began to deepen after their marriage. Alana's parents even heard their daughter being called a fucking bitch many times. In the spring of 2005, the two moved to North Carolina, USA, for their studies. However, this move made Mohammed become increasingly violent. One night, Alana called the police and reported that Mohammed had attacked her and tore her lip in half. She took her children and hid at a friend's house. As a result, Mohammed faced 3 criminal charges, but for the future of his career, he had to choose to reconcile with his wife. A few months later, just as Mohammed expected, his wife returned to her. None of her friends understood why she made such a decision. Life seemed to be back on track, and their life in the United States seemed to have a new beginning. However, the unequal relationship in marriage was still reflected in all aspects. She took over everything, except for medicine, and Mohammed was basically a useless people, just like they were when they first started falling in love. After Mohammed obtained his doctorate in 2009, the two moved back to Ottawa, and Alana got her dream job and began an internship at the Ottawa hospital. However, from this point on, Mohammed strictly controlled her social media and turned the two into a perfect couple. In 2011, Mohammed went to Calgary for a year-long business trip. It was during this period that Alana discovered her husband's affair. After countless days and nights of painful struggle, Alana chose to forgive because they had 2 children and she still loved him deeply. Then Mohammed got an important job in Toronto, and Alana gave up her career for him to accompany her husband wholeheartedly. The conflict between the two people did not ease. In 2016, the conflict escalated to its highest point. When the two were on vacation in Ottawa in the winter of 2016, Mohammed cut Alana's arm, which was so serious that she needed to go to the hospital for emergency surgery. Alana just told everyone that it was an accident. From then on, the violent conflict between the two became more and more serious, and finally Alana couldn't bear it anymore and decided to leave him. That weekend, when Alana plucked up the courage to tell her husband about her decision to divorce, the conflict happened again, but this time it didn't end as safely as before. Alana was never seen again after that weekend, until that morning, when an unknown dog walker discovered her body, balled up like a paper ball, in the box. The police later described that he had never seen such a cruel way of death. The murderer looked like a professional. Alana's spine was divided into several sections and her hair was cut off. But he made a terrible mistake. The box had her name and address on it, as well as his fingerprints, which the killer apparently didn't notice. In the end, Mohammed was sentenced to life imprisonment by the court with no possibility of parole for 14 years. Her friends and colleagues are all successful people at the pinnacle of their careers. They all know about the series of physical and mental torture Alana has gone through, but they all remain silent. This is undoubtedly the greatest tragedy of this case. The University of Ottawa has also dedicated a page to commemorate this outstanding female doctor, hoping that her tortured soul can rest in peace. Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.